Hey guys, what is up? US Procrastinator back here today with another just random YouTube video. It was actually something I've been waiting for to come out for a long time, I want to say. Yeah, a pretty long time. It is if you have not read the title, it's CinemaWins Everything Great About Avengers Endgame Part 1 and 2. Part 1 came out last week. I thought about making this video last week, but I wanted to do both of them at the same time so I get the full thing. I think it's I think his review is finished because he only did part 2 and 2 parts for Infinity War, but he might do part 3. If he adds another video for it, I'll do another reaction for it. But this will be just part 1 and 2. Like I said, I've been waiting for this ever since the movie came out, which sucks for me because I've only seen the movie one time. Yet I remember so much about it, thankfully, because I remember stuff pretty well for some reason. Sometimes I have a good memory. And like I said, I've been waiting for this review since the movie first came out back however long ago it is. I don't have DVD yet or digital. I'll go get DVD Blu-ray. I still do DVDs and all that. But I've been waiting for this for a long time because I loved the movie so much. Would it be my favorite Marvel? Is it my favorite Marvel movie? MCU movie? Let me think. Thor, I didn't really care for. I remember pretty much every single one of them as best as you can, I guess. Thor, I didn't really care for that much. I'm talking about movies, not the character. Captain America, first, the one. I actually liked it. I liked it. I know like people say it's one of the lower ones, but I actually enjoyed it quite a lot. Probably more than a lot of people did, but whatever. Everybody has different tastes and all that, and I'm just a person who enjoys about everything. Iron Man, the first one, I loved. Still, I think it's my favorite of the before Avengers movies. Because how many movies were there before Avengers? I'm gonna look that up real fast. Avengers movie order. There we go. Okay, well, this ain't gonna work. Just give me a moment. List the Marvel Cinematic films. Thank you, Wikipedia. Okay, from Phase 1, I'm just going off Wikipedia right now. Phase 1, there was Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, and then The Avengers. The Avengers is the best, my favorite of the Phase 1. But before the Avengers, probably go Iron Man, Captain America, Iron Man 2, Hulk, then Thor. I actually liked the Incredible Hulk movie because I thought it was back in 2008, so I was 12ish or so. During a time where I loved just total destruction and all that. So yeah, seeing a big green monster on screen destroying about everything, I'm gonna like it a lot. And I think I'm biased for that part, so whatever. But yeah, I liked it more than Thor. I love the Iron Man movies because I'm probably gonna always love the Iron Man movies above everything else. Usually, maybe because I'm a very techy person, so I love seeing tech of what tech could be. I know we're probably not gonna get a Jarvis anytime soon. I've already tried it one time. Yeah, I actually did try to make a Jarvis. It turned out pretty good. I had got it to be a voice chat thing. I kind of deleted the code, so kind of sucked about that. I couldn't get to start learning. You're not here to hear about me my adventures in programming and stuff, unless I start doing videos on that. I don't know. I kind of do want to do videos on like my little programming projects I have to go through every once in a while. I'll probably do that next year when I actually have time to actually work on my programming stuff. Let me know if you're a person who likes programming or likes Arduinos or Unity game designing and all that. And you want to see I can't really say tutorial because I'm not that good at it, but see just a random video about something related to tech, let me know because I might do it. I probably will do it. Okay, well, I'm still on phase one. Phase two, we got Iron Man 3, Thor, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Ultron, and Ant Man. Hold the hell up. Ant Man was in part phase two? Okay. I don't know why, but I thought that was like phase three. I was thinking it was like all the Avenger movies would be the break between the phases, but apparently the Ant Man thing came out. Okay, good to know, I guess. Feels so long ago that these movies came out. But phase two, I will go Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant Man, Age of Ultron, Iron Man 3, and Thor the Dark World. I say that, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I think I'll stick with that. Because, yeah, I was more. The main reason I love the Agent of Ultron, even liked it, I liked it because of Vision, that one scene, Vision lifting the hammer, Cap almost lifting it that one time, and I don't remember what happened. What the hell happened in Age of Ultron? I mean, I loved Ultron, but whatever. I'm out of. My mind went blank. No, well, moving on to Phase 3. We have Civil War, I loved. Doctor Strange, I love. Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 2. I've only seen like the last half of it. I never went to go see it in theaters. I think that was when I was saving money up for something or something like that. But I never went to go see it. Because of that, I could only catch it on TV because I never bought the DVD. So I only ever caught like the last half of it or whatever. Okay, then Homecoming I have seen. I did love it because I love Spider-Man. One thing to know about me, Spider-Man will always be my favorite character of all time. Even if you got asked me for all characters ever, I'm sorry, light, I hit you. I hit my light. I'm so sorry. Of all the heroes, characters, and all that across all media, Spider-Man is my favorite, hands down. Most because I literally grew up with him. He was the very first hero I ever learned about, so I'm gonna always be biased for anything of his. And then we had after Homecoming, we had Ragnarok. I loved that one so much. Black Panther. Never actually watched it. That's the fun part. I never actually watched Black Panther. Somehow, what the hell was going on during that time? It was last year. I don't know. I don't know what happened last time. Whatever. Infinity War, I saw that. Ant-Man and the Wasp, never saw it, but I did see. For Black Panther and Ant-Man 2, I saw the CinemaSins and CinemaWins of those. Yeah, I saw those. That's about. I got the synopsis of the movies from that. Captain Marvel, me and my friend went to see that. Endgame, I saw that. And Far From Home, I saw that. I'm not going to get into Phase 4 because that didn't come out yet, so I can't say. So I was just going. I had to actually remind myself what all. Poke myself. I had to remind myself of what all things happened when all movies came out during the time. So, as of right now, I could say my favorite movies from this time. My top 3: Endgame. Give me a moment. Kind of put myself on the spot here. No. You guys can't see my screen unless I decide to put it up, so just know I'm looking through all the things I'm actually thinking. Doctor Strange love for the visuals and all that. Probably Winter Soldier, and then Guardians of the Galaxy. So if you give me like a lot of humor and stuff, you'll become one of my top 5 favorite things. So yeah. Then Iron Man be right. All the Iron Mans are kind of tied together. I just lumped them all together. Pete, number 4, with number 5 being Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, don't ask me that question again, even though I never asked before, because I might change my list around. I'll never have a concurrent list, except for like where Iron Man and Endgame are probably. I could be wrong. I don't know what's happening. But whatever. We're here to talk only about Endgame, and yes, I did love everything. Pretty much everything of the entire movie. I loved, even the time travel stuff. I was okay with. I'm one of the ones that was okay with it because I understood it. It was very simple to me, I think. And then I know that there's technically there are 2 or 3 timelines now. When you think about it, if someone's actually watching this, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Because I could be wrong. I think there are 3 timelines as of right now. Possibly there are 3 or 2, because we had the scene where Loki took that tesseract from that. First up, spoilers if you haven't seen the movie yet. Somehow, just wanted to go ahead and say that for just in case, because I don't know, maybe you haven't seen it for some reason. I don't know how, but whatever. So Loki took the tesseract during that scene during the Avengers, the original Avengers time group. So that broke up. Well, he didn't. Yeah, that created a new timeline. Because I doubt Cap actually went back and fixed that. We got now. This part is kind of tough to figure out. Because when Steve goes back, is that still make the same timeline? That means it was always back there, or did he make an alternate timeline? That's part I'm not entirely sure if there's like 2 or 3 timelines, possibly. The good thing is, if Loki because of Loki's little timeline thing, as far as I'm aware, I'm gonna keep saying Loki has his own timeline right now. That means Black Widow and Tony Stark are still alive, probably, in that timeline. Possibly, I could be wrong. I don't know what's going on in the timeline. And then there are the multiverses and all that. So, hey, there's a whole lot of confusion and all that. I mean, yeah, I know there's gonna be multiverse stuff because Doctor Strange pretty much showed the multiverse. They literally showed it in that LSD clip scene where he got sent to space by the Ancient One and all that. But whatever, we're talking Endgame. If you ask me what my favorite scene of the entire Endgame was, you don't really need to ask. It's the Captain America using the hammer to kick the shit out of Thanos for however a few moments he did. Favorite scene. Saddest thing was Tony Stark's part. Yeah, I actually don't cry often, but I got close to tearing up in that time. That scene right there. I was so close. I was devastated. I don't think I ever got over it. I'm still gonna peer. Nope, not gonna bring it up. Not gonna start that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that means the Ruby video has not come out yet. If it hasn't come out yet, just wait till next Wednesday probably. Then you'll understand. Okay, I have not gotten over certain things that happen in the next Ruby video. But whatever, I'm going to get started because I've wasted 13 minutes and 43-ish seconds of your time. I'm glad to waste your time. This can be like a 30-ish minute video reaction part. So whatever, we're going to start, okay? So everything great about Avengers, colon. I think that's colon. I never could tell the difference between colon, Endgame, exclamation mark, parentheses, part 1, close parentheses. I'm not doing that ever again. Well, I might. I'm not going to go that far. But whatever. Begin now. Spoilers! But you knew that! Spoilers!
Good job, Hawkeye.
Compliments?
Yes.
That's why he switches to Ronin. Our
Probably.
insider knowledge makes this a gruesome and crushing
Yep.
scene. Clint wouldn't even notice the dust or know what he was seeing if he did notice.
Mm-hmm.
You even just barely see the family dust settling. Cold opens, in this case a scene before the Marvel logo, aren't exclusive to Endgame. All of these movies have one. But
Pretty
this
much.
one is definitely more impactful, catching up with an Avenger we missed last time. Infinity War
terrible.
actually opened on the Marvel logo, but forewent the typical theme for some dire Thanos music, since that was his movie. Now, Endgame ties us back into the emotional ending of Infinity War with some light dusting. We get the Marvel logo we've seen before, but with some blank spots, even showing where Destined Avengers should be, but aren't. You may not even notice right away, but it leaves you feeling a little empty. Granted, our non-snapped Avengers just so happen to be our OGs. So,
Kind of.
there you go.
Yeah,
Also,
pretty
the
much.
Marvel logo switched from red to black with a red 10 for 2018 MCU movies because it was the 10th anniversary and the red 10 pops on a black background. Captain
Oh.
Marvel and Endgame are both 2019 MCU and post-snap. The black now feels like mourning.
Pretty much. Hey, Tony.
Feels fitting that the return to the Benatar is with a little late 60s traffic, even if 62.5 to 87.5% of the Guardians are gone/dead, depending on how you count. A heart for anyone who figures out my math on that one. Also, Dear Mr. Fantasy is pretty on the nose. Something to make us all happy, takes us out of this gloom. I'm going to talk about this in the conclusion more, but this entire movie is a reminder of where everyone started compared to who they are now. If
Yeah,
this
pretty
doesn't
much.
make you think about Robert Downey Jr.'s workout routine in that tank top.
I almost capped the scene.
We opened on the Infinity War timeline, and now we're in Endgame proper with Tony's first goodbye message. It's a smart misdirect. You don't even realize the movie is telegraphing Tony's death at first.
Yeah, I didn't even know about it when it happened until it happened.
To look his death in the face and let Pepper know he'll be all right.
Hey, Neb.
This is also the same subdued but gorgeous piece of music from Alan Silvestri used during Tony's funeral. Captain Marvel to the rescue! We will miss your beautiful beard, Cap, but knowing who you have to be in this movie, I understand. Hugging and love and tearing up before the 10-minute mark? I said this movie is about comparing our current selves to our past selves, and Nebula is a prime example. A story that spans, 4 movies with Karen Gillan? 2 subtle moments that mean a lot coming from her.
Here, take that. You find him. You put that on. You hide.
A timely reminder that Cap and Tony have not made up since Civil War yet.
Let's go get
Can't forget about that part.
Language.
I wish he had put the suit on.
Avengers score. Updated with more horns, more triumph. Even the title card tells us whose movie this is. Golden, shining, solid, clean. Yup. 1940s.
If I don't talk to him, listen to him.
Before going back in time. Also memes. One last little trick making you think he still has the stones as if he used the power stone to pull up the floor, but it's just done.
True, I never noticed the part.
Let's call that teamwork.
Yay!
Inevitable.
No one ever talks about how Thanos ripped off Agent Smith, but that's okay. It's really not the I am statement that I walk away with. Barely comeuppance, but still comeuppance.
Good enough.
Thor's only saying that because you people on the internet were so mean to him, but a perfect showcase of how revenge will never really satisfy you. In fact, it's a good way to fall down the depression spiral. What a real closing to Infinity War. Starting this movie with more defeat, even in success. But how about this upbeat Avengers-y space adventure-y tone? The trick that's played on us. Alright, let's get this son of a bitch. We'll chase him around the galaxy.
Yeah, I was concerned about that when I first saw it.
After the downer of Infinity
and then
War.
he destroyed.
Never mind. He dead. Oh my gosh, it's real. And
Yeah,
it's
5 years
possibly
later
the best decision made for this movie. I asked for it in my Infinity War video, and I think everyone was a little nervous we'd get a Control Z. But goodness, is it not. 5 years of living in Thanos' universe.
It sucks.
I didn't even know what to talk about.
What did you talk about?
My job, his job.
Ideally, our first openly gay MCU character would be a main character and portrayed by an LGBTQ plus actor. But I also give Joe Russo props for being willing to take all the ridiculous, unwarranted backlash for this representation right in himself. So we'll call it a baby
Good
steps
enough one.
win.
Yeah.
And even the old timer is accepting and doesn't even bat an eye. I knew I loved Cap.
Gotta move on.
Even before he confesses to Nat later, it's apparent that he's done moving on, as in can't, won't, not gonna move on.
Yep, he definitely can't move us.
Clairvoyance? Ha! The Terminal Beach, a sci-fi anthology book, contains a short entitled Endgame. Overkill would know all about that. I can hear the questions in the back of my mind about why they'd put this van in storage, but when you think about it, whoever found it assumed Scott and whoever was at the controls got dusted, and the van is registered to Scott's company, so it's probably his ex-wife's storage unit. Or she rented a space for him. Which reminds me this movie is woefully under Judy Greered. But the storage unit thing stands. Looking forward to the spin-off, The Rat. We'd all have been screwed without him. Jax Films was pitting
Thank you, Ninja Turtles, for saving the life.
But this kid knows what's up. Such a 28 Days Later vibe. Again, our insider knowledge means it's not eerie for us, just sad. Getting to see both Clint and Scott deal with it for the first time throws us right back into shock.
Yep, I was terrified during this scene for his daughter.
Indie film tracking shot is, believe it or not, one of my favorite moments in the movie. You barely notice his running is silent because of the panicky violin. Remember when the casting of Old Cassie spoiled the time travel for all of us, but then we were dead wrong about every other part? Yeah, me too.
You're so big.
Ugh, that crushing despair that you missed 5 years of your daughter's life mixed with relief that she's alive. Paul Rudd, sir, you are an actor.
If I move on, who does this?
Maybe it doesn't need to be done.
But isn't that the point? The question isn't who will do this, it's what do I do without this? I'm not gonna lie, finally really digging into Nat's thoughts and feelings make it hurt all the more. Nat either dyed her hair, I mean, Scarlett did, obviously, but I like the implication that in the 5 years since the snap, getting a haircut or keeping up on her blonde became less of a priority, and those are Natasha's actual red roots growing out. Scott Lang, high-angle security camera guy.
Have either of you guys ever studied quantum physics?
Only to make conversation.
And I'm gonna sing Paul Rudd's praises again. He has to capture confusion, disbelief, confusion, despair, optimism, and confusion, all while still being his comedic self.
I can't do that at all.
No. No,
Yes.
of course not. No, not a time machine. It's
Yes.
more like
Yeah, time machine.
like a time machine.
Honesty. Tony, prepare for some guests who have some crazy ideas, and you're going to be angry about it. They'll need your help with advice only you're knowledgeable about, and if you agree, you can get your family back. You know, your
Possibly.
surrogate son. Oh, and also maybe kill some monsters along the way.
Yeah.
Sly way of pretending like you didn't actually get your wish to name her after Pepper's Uncle Morgan.
After your eccentric uncle, Morgan.
Morgan H. Stark, you want some lunch?
Aw, is the H for Howard? Named
I hope
after
so.
two men. Rescue shadowing.
We did stand, and yet here we are.
Some are still standing, but Tony sits. It's a little,
Good point.
Metaphor for you.
I know, it's crazy.
I had to get used to part, but I liked it so much.
That is the weird part. Self-awareness.
First Hulk lost, then Banner lost.
It might feel a touch underwhelming as the payoff to what Hulk's problem was in Infinity War, but I really think it's that simple. Hulk had never been beaten so badly, and for what? The guy he shared a body with basically hated him, and no one on Earth will ever treat him as well as people did on Sakaar. This was a very logical solution.
I mean, he is right, though.
Yeah, look, he's even saying no, he doesn't. I get it.
Professor Hulk is a more warm-hearted and confident version of Bruce, even if the differences are pretty subtle.
Hulk out!
I love that of
Just
all
Hulk
the
out.
Avengers, Hulk is the one with multiple catchphrases and a fan club.
Say green.
Love you, Hulk.
Listen to your mom. She knows better.
Obedience advice.
Pulled this off. I remember a time when that seemed pretty impossible too.
Flirting? Do we still
I think so.
acknowledge that stuff from Age of Ultron? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, flirting. Flirting.
No, I
continuity.
don't acknowledge it
Man who
ever.
controls Iron Man's suit cannot operate kitchen sprayer, almost as if his subconscious needed to remind him that normalcy was never really for him.
Pretty much.
He sees the photo of his dad reminding him that science and engineering, yada yada. Nope. He actually did lose a child. It speaks to how
Yep.
much he has
Hi,
now.
Peter.
I don't personally believe Tony was ever truly anxious about the tech specifically, but losing his daughter because of some changes in the past, that's what he can't abide.
This time in the
Yeah, he would have.
Mobius
If he didn't have Morgan, he would have helped him to begin
Proof
with.
that Tony's STEM level is far beyond any of ours, since a Mobius strip inverted would just be a Mobius strip as far as I know.
I love you 3,000.
No.
It's so cute, but I bet I never think about it ever again.
What's new with
Yeah, always will.
composting?
Interesting sign.
No, I can't help everybody.
Sort of seems like you can.
Not if I stop. I can put a pin in it.
You're not
right
going
now.
to.
Jokes aside, if this isn't character growth, Tony doesn't ask for permission, he just does. But now he has a partner and is genuinely asking for Pepper's advice.
Something tells me I
And whenever he didn't ask for
should
advice, he
box
created
and drop
Ultron
to the bottom of the lake.
or other stuff.
You be able to rest.
And they made the right call about not playing coy about where this all leads. The shock of Tony's death isn't nearly as important as preparing us and making it feel earned. Even if he sees it coming, the love of his life knows there's no rest for Tony when he has the power to affect change.
Guys, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah, well, you'd hope all the things you've done would give you a real bright, burning sensation.
Really?
Time travel!
Kind of.
I see this as an absolute win.
Lie.
Weird.
Wound up pushing time through Lang. It's tricky, dangerous. Somebody.
Wonder if that might work on anyone else in the future.
Possibly,
Jesse
maybe.
removing the Black Panther scratches was the right call. Could have been an awkward reminder.
It's awesome.
Would have been hilarious.
There's an idiot in the landing zone.
Thank
Two
you.
astute observations.
What's up, regular size man?
Side note, thank you for realizing how funny Don Cheadle is, filmmakers.
me taco.
Generosity. Also a meme win. Also full CG character handing something to a live action character.
Great part. Yay, Fat Thor. Let's go.
Supersonic rocket ship is exactly the Kinks song Thor would have on repeat in his new home away from home where nobody has to be hip, nobody needs to be out of sight, even if maybe they should be. Two CGI characters enter a house to converse with two other CGI characters
Hey,
and a
Korg.
guy in a fat suit. None of this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Korg barely glances away from his game for a split second.
Feel free
Thank
to
you,
log
Korg.
into the Wi-Fi. No password, obviously.
Also, Korg's alive! Like, in the flesh, not just confirmed by a director. Bottle opener.
Never in the.
Melted ice
What?
cream.
You mean Chris Hemsworth's workout routine? Look at those abs. Just a little
That
subject
ab.
his fat.
Who chopped Thanos' big head off?
Stormbreaker?
Korg is always awake.
You wanna know
Thank
who
you.
helped me out of it? Natasha. It was you.
A moment that doesn't really matter if you missed Ragnarok, but you're rewarded if you saw it. Quick things like this are why the MCU works.
We're not into it.
Pretty much.
Don't care. Couldn't care less. Goodbye.
Not to mention this further shift from OG Thor, allowing him to truly embrace Ragnarok Thor. Man, first night
Yes,
shot of
Thor.
a city shows that roughly half the buildings have their lights out. Want to do a 2-minute wonder with a sword fight at the end? You'll need Hiroyuki Sanada. Even if it's tough
Pretty
to
much, yeah.
believe that Ronin could beat the Twilight Samurai so easily, Hiroyuki Sanada is always a win. And Shinjin's been killed twice now.
And Ronin's part is awesome.
One side there, Lebowski.
Lebowski's dead, Tony. Hey ho, A113 in a non-Pixar movie. Oh hey,
Yeah.
a bigger one.
Why don't we just find
Yeah.
baby Thanos, you know, and
That wouldn't work, I think.
First of all, that's horrible.
it's Thanos.
I mean, if Deadpool can't do it, none of you can.
time,
Yeah.
time after
Could
time,
Wolverine do it?
in time, somewhere in time.
Hot tub time machine.
Hot tub time machine.
All great examples. Super appreciate only one gets a double mention. You could say it's a great white buffalo.
If you travel to the past, that past becomes your future, and your former present becomes the past.
When you
which
tell me
can
this
now
movie's
be
a bullshit.
changed by your new future.
I really appreciate this explanation. It's hard to have time travel not be a panacea for every problem that ever comes up ever again. The multiverse is the answer, even if some people may be lying about it later. Thor's back, but he's not back. He said he was there for the beer, so he's checked out of all the important stuff. Jamming more
Pretty much.
things on his headphones, I assume. At first, this is just played off as a bit of sad nostalgia, but you can bet Tony made it clear to Clint that he needed to confirm objects can be brought back with them, breaking the old Terminator rule. Never exposited for us, just an example of filmmakers trusting their audience a little.
Take it to Asgard, which is where I'm from.
Leave it to the nicest Avenger to try to keep the smile up for the drowning tail. Ha! Hulk's eating his own ice cream. And no one's got a fork for Nebula?
This is the fight,
God dang it, Nebula.
and we're gonna win, whatever it takes.
He's pretty good at that.
To be fair,
He is.
he's had so much practice.
Best speech giver
But
ever.
Don't ever get tired of it. Glad he got one more solid, rousing speech in there.
Promise to bring that back in one piece, right?
Yeah. Okay, do my best.
These goofy little character interactions are such a huge part of why the MCU and these team-up movies are such a gift to all of us. Rocket and
I love this
Hawkeye's
movie so
first
much.
time working together, first time meeting. It's that feeling I think I first described in Civil War, where my two buddies I've known independently for years are messing with each other and having a good time. It's like introducing your cool friend to your other cool friend, and they both just get cooler in the process, and you feel cooler by association.
I never feel cool. I'm not cool. Poor Ned.
Maybe smash a few things along the way. I think it's gratuitous, but whatever.
Gratuitous or not,
What's gratuitous mean?
whose workout routine is this? Let's just call it
Don't know.
Believably selling the bit. I appreciate that there's no real shade thrown at movies that weren't as loved as others. They'll do it sometimes to say, hey look, we're cool, we hate this too, but no, you're allowed to like the Dark World. It's still part of the MCU. Some people have even made videos about why it's alright to like it. Thor found a beer pouch in his time travel shrink suit.
Of course you would.
God slap.
You guys watch each other six.
They take that to like the most insane extremes. Good
Yep.
morning,
Right. Kind of alive. Close enough. Hi.
Never thought I'd miss a baddie's theme.
Ronan's obsession clouds his judgment.
Thanos probably predicted Ronin's betrayal from the beginning, just letting us know how cunning he really is.
As far
Pretty
as
much.
I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
Greatest line ever.
Yep, behind the scenes of iconic moments, and Tony lampshading some of the more unbelievable ones.
All right, get him on his feet. And I'll stand around posing up a storm later.
Flick me.
There's a side story here where Nebula and Tony meet a couple times a month to practice paper football, and I want to see it. My, how things have changed.
That'd be great.
Last time Tony was falling from this building, it was tense, and now he's nearly invincible.
Yeah, pretty much invisible.
Someone pointed that out a year ago.
Hail Hydra.
The MCU finally got that moment some of the comic community was so upset about for like a week. But talk about more character growth. Knowing
He
that
knows.
just because you can take them all, done it before, doesn't mean you should or even need to. Loki's alive, maybe?
That worked.
Kind of timeline broke.
That was so crazy. I had no idea if that was gonna work.
OG formal Thor mixed with rebooted Ragnarok Thor. He was like this all along, guys. You just didn't see it.
Oh, you gotta be
Language!
All good language.
Yes, sir.
I can do this.
Great fight.
Yeah, I know.
This is one of those scenes you'd write in your head and you'd wish they'd put it in the movie, but
It's like a
then they
fan
gave it
fiction
to us.
part right here.
That is America's ass.
Compliments.
If I give up the time stone to help your reality, I'm dooming my own.
And there'd be no bargaining.
I'm not sure the science.
True.
really supports that.
We now get to see the difference between Banner and Professor Hulk. Bruce is still unsure, a little jittery, whereas Professor Hulk barely took a second to think before going to take the Time Stone from the Ancient One.
Strange
True.
gave it away. He gave it to Thanos.
Willingly?
Yes.
Why?
I have no idea. Maybe he made a mistake.
Because he knew something.
I can't believe how well thought out this was. Strange knew he had to give the stone willingly to Thanos. It couldn't be taken because then the Ancient One wouldn't have known Strange saw the only outcome in which they win. Her ability to see the future but not beyond her death makes this all work. He sent her a freaking coded message through time and death. You asked me for multiple parts and I literally had no other options.
No.
So dense and so long. Honestly, if I thought I could pull the entire video together in 1 week, I'd try, but yeah, it's just not possible. But no.
Alright, next part, go. Continue, please. I'm so enthralled. I just figured out that word too. I didn't know if I'm using it right.
Avengers.
In case you're confused, 2014 Thanos would absolutely know about the Avengers since he was behind Loki's missions to Earth that failed because of the Avengers in 2012.
Not true.
Totally from the future.
Honesty. Man,
Fluffy Thor.
Apparently all Asgardians think raccoons are rabbits?
The rabbit is correct
Probably.
and clearly the smartest among you.
Oh, wait.
Hi, Hammer.
I'm still worthy.
Heartbreaking.
I refuse to call his
true
name.
depiction of depression that Thor believed he was unworthy because of his failure. That crushes me on a personal level, being able to relate, and brightens my spirit all at the same time that there is such a visual representation for Thor and anyone with depression. Hear this message. You are still worthy. Worthy of respect, love, relationships, hammers, whatever. Love
I
it.
feel so sorry for that present Thor though. I'm so happy to see this part.
So he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Intuition. Tiny little moments revealing our Gamora beneath the facade of 2014 Gamora. A slight recoil from Thanos' touch, a hand on her weapon when Maw threatens Nebula.
I would never betray you.
Amazing. Before Guardians 1 and 2 and Infinity War, I believe Nebula could not even conceive of betraying her father. Again, showing her growth over the years.
There's another way to retake the Tesseract and acquire new particles.
Ha! Secretary Jeremiah might have accidentally reminded Tony of that.
That's been S.H.I.E.L.D. property for over 70 years. I know for a fact they were there.
Who's they? What
and
are we
I know
doing?
how I know.
And
Go
not
back.
to get all cap on you.
To look on the bright side.
Of course I have it.
But we know how he knows because what Howard was working on was the super soldier serum. And Tony knows because they all found out together that Bucky killed his dad. Well, Cap already knew, but Tony found out in front of them.
Close enough.
Meaning, without the events of Civil War, without the battle that destroyed the Avengers and led to them being separated in Infinity War, they may have
I mean, he is
failed.
right. They would have failed.
Stan Lee catchphrases.
Hi, Stan.
I've said it a
Miss you,
few
buddy.
times now, but thank you, Stan.
Mhm.
I'll never stop thanking you for all of this. The Blu-ray and DVD have a really great tribute to Stan, touching on and
Aw.
talking about most of his cameos. There may never be a more genuine, positive energy radiating man. Stan Lee is and will always be a win.
Yes?
I miss him.
A bunch of fake naming geniuses on the Avengers. One puts an S on the end of his first name, and the other just steals the name of the guy he's talking to, who happens to be his dad, and combines it with his wife.
Howard Potts.
One of them had a hippie beard.
Hippie, like Bee Gees or Mungo Jerry?
Definitely Bungo Jerry.
Was Wolverine in there somewhere and I missed it?
That'd be great.
Ooh,
Or
that
Steve.
look. Destroyed but still in love and so excited to see her look. Ooh.
I thought my dad was tough on me. And now, looking back on it, I just remember the good stuff.
Such a gift to give Tony this closure with his dad, one of his most strained relationships. Also hugging.
You tell us where
Yeah,
it is,
hugging.
then we'll be on our way.
So I looked up the German translation for Liebchen, you know, Hydra leader that came out of the Nazis, makes sense.
Mhm.
And no option is less condescending than the last in this context. Condescension isn't really a win.
Probably, maybe.
Oh, I know.
There's always wind. I'm not reading all that, okay?
When you realize
No.
that Cap's words were the catalyst for two main characters' deaths.
Whatever it takes.
The last 5 years,
Yeah.
do one thing, get to right here. That's all it's been about, bringing everybody back.
I have so many thoughts on this scene. The
so sad
contrast
about
to
this scene.
Infinity War's version where Gamora was unwillingly sacrificed, now giving us a picture of true love between these two, giving everything they have to save the other. Very particular fantastical circumstances. Loving relationships don't usually, and IRL shouldn't require you to sacrifice your life. But as a
Should.
hyper-realized version of reality, this was it for Nat. She needed to save her family, Clint included, finally wiping the red from her ledger. So much of her journey in the MCU was trying to
Good for
find her
her, I
purpose,
guess.
figure out which side she was on, and she finally
so
feels
sad
like
about
she's
it.
found it, just in time to die for it.
Let me go.
As much as this smile does make me sob, she's giddy. She's ecstatic that she has a chance to fix it, and she's not going to let anything stand in her way.
It's
even her own self-sacrifice. And even with the victory of the stone, Alan Silvestri's score reinforces the dread and despair we are all feeling.
Yeah, that was terrible times.
Shared family. Yeah. Us.
While that's probably self-evident, they actually had a conversation about it.
I used to have nothing, and then I got this family, and it was
good.
Better because of it.
So, of course she's willing to give up her life for these people. They're all she has. Character continuity.
Let me do something good, something right.
I really wanted to open a can of worms this week and talk about Thor, but I just have way too much to say, so I have to put it off at the conclusion. Right now, I'll say this is another crushing Thor moment that brings me to tears every time I see it. It's a perfect representation of Thor fighting against his depression and trying again to undo it with a quick fix, to atone for his internalized sins, something we all know doesn't work. His friends finally see it.
You're in no condition.
Tony isn't talking about Thor's weight gain, and his instant defeat in the way he hangs his head makes the blood drain from my body.
It's gotta be me. But the radiation's mostly gamma. It's like, I was
You're
made
made for it.
this.
But also, does everyone get the best moment from their entire 10-year story, or what? This is a payoff from the Avengers.
So you're saying that the Hulk, the other
Good
guy,
times, good times.
saved my life? It's a nice sentiment. Saved it for what?
Who knows?
And when you really think about it, Hulk doesn't have the intelligence to use the stones. He'd probably accidentally snap himself back to Sakaar. But with the brains to make the right wish and the gamma brawn to survive the snap, Professor Hulk was made for this. Also, there seems to be an entire cult-like following of Hot Professor Hulk. Let's just say his design and implementation are phenomenal and leave it at that.
You remember, everyone Thanos snapped away 5 years ago, we're just bringing them back to now, today. Don't change anything from the last 5 years.
Seems obvious, but when your daughter's life is on the line, you make sure.
Take it off! No, wait, Bruce, are you okay?
Cap would know a thing or two about sticking it out when everyone else thinks you're dying.
I love this scene.
A little touch that using the stones actually reduces muscle mass on the arm, like it literally sucks the life out of you. I love how they subtly answered the "what about the birds" question here. Yep,
the birds,
they
they're
got
back.
snapped, now they've blipped.
And then we have a lot of problems coming very soon. Laura.
Honey.
Listen to that score. Not something we get to hear often in the MCU. Quiet, peaceful, hopeful.
And
answering the phone could give you so many emotions. Just in case it was unclear how Ant-Man survived.
Vaccine shrink.
Well, that's one way to soft reboot the Avengers.
Pretty much.
Brutal.
Canopy, canopy, canopy.
A little military realism there. 3 times is an emergency.
Ah. Hi, welcome back. Please get back home.
Still a badass bad guy. His score's not hurting anything. Plus, now he's got the sick double-sided Buster Sword.
What's he been doing?
Absolutely nothing.
This scene, this just matter-of-fact, well, Thanos is back. There's like a bit of disbelief, but also just numbness, because of course he's back. Of course it couldn't be.
You can never stay off too long.
No, it's a trap, right?
Yeah. I don't much care.
Where are the stones?
And these guys falling right back into their roles. Cap concerned for the stones, strategy. Thor being matter-of-fact, let's kill him. Tony being cocky. Who's Akbar? They knew it was coming. We're ready. They're ready.
Super great.
That's beautiful beard. Norse god braided beautiful beard. Hair too.
Wish I could grow a beard like that.
Believe it or not, this heck yeah moment is actually a powerful emotional moment. Just because Thor is feeling a little better and ready to fight doesn't mean he's magically better. His substance abuse didn't disappear. He didn't magically revert to shredded Thor. He didn't lightening his depression or PTSD away. He's still got work to do on himself.
Let's kill him.
Gotta work out, probably.
But he is a badass good guy. Okay, quick. Someone grab some pin particles, go back to 2007, and tell your past self that in 12 years, you'll witness a scene where 3 main characters you love collectively and independently, because each has a trilogy of movies filled with character and world building, as well as 4 shared
But
movies,
if I had trilogy,
face
I
off
realized
against
that.
a villain that's been teased and cameoed for 7 years, then is given his own movie where he beats these 3. Oh, and this moment comes with roughly an hour left in the movie, and watch yourself laugh in your own face. No
My
three
yourself
should
be
be able to
confused
carry
as
so
fuck.
much weight in
So I
3
can't
pairs
explain
of
anything.
legs walking towards a purple giant. And one last battle for these heroes to go out
Best
and
fight
work
ever,
together as
probably
a
right now.
team. Did I mention that sword is baller?
Mm-hmm.
Is that like weapon teamwork?
I think so. Oh god. You begging for Laws. Laws wins right here.
Yuppers
Yep.
Yup, Cap is worthy.
There you go. Good enough.
Me too. Not to mention more character growth. Thor was nervous last time, and now he's just excited that his buddy is worthy and has
Best part of the fight right here. That move right there, so cool.
Mjolnir off of his shield, a la Avengers and Age of Ultron, all by himself. That
Pretty much.
I did not see coming. But I love that once he realizes he can harness it, why not?
Just give it his all.
Just to be clear, the worthy to hold thing only applies to Mjolnir, and there's actually a couple moments that maybe show Thanos is not worthy. It looks like he goes to grab it here, and it's repelled like an opposite polarity magnet, and then he seems to specifically grab Cap's hand here. But to be fair, Thanos is currently paying Thor back for Infinity War for something that hasn't happened to him. So...
In all my years of conquest, it was never personal. But I'll tell you now what I'm about to do to your stubborn, annoying little planet.
You could maybe say it was a smile on your face?
I'm gonna enjoy
Probably.
it.
Or no? No. Okay.
Close enough. I thought his arm was broken there.
Doesn't even need to say it this time.
On your left.
Hey, Sam's finally the
Yay!
faster one. Also callback, clearly. How are you supposed to do
They were so good,
much
but...
excitement and emotion?
Where's Spidey? Hey, Spidey! Oh, he's dead. We killed the guy. You okay there, dude?
Oh, it's still going. Rescue! Rescue. Rescue. Even Howard the Duck's
Rescue.
back.
Hi, Howard.
Silvestri's score just keeps building. Every time you think you've reached peak triumph, he pushes a little further with a few more characters.
Of course he would.
And then
this
the
thing.
score travels back
Score,
down,
whatever.
preparing you for what's about to come, getting your blood pumping, endorphins flowing, edge of your seat. What is this?
Avengers!
Assemble.
I actually give them tons of credit for not doing this slow-mo because this is a hero shot that's got just about
Be bad if
everybody
you
in.
slow-mo.
And these are the scenes you're gonna watch 1,000 times and notice something new probably every time. Hulk
I probably won't watch
smashing
it
and
1,000 times
tossing
'cause I want
that guy
to.
like a bench. Little Wasp sizing up for a flying kick. You probably didn't miss Giant Man punching a Chitauri Leviathan.
No, I don't think you remember
But it's
that.
a win. Drax combo stabbing plus teamwork with Gord. And
Gord!
yes sir. Rescue and Iron Man teamwork.
Where's
And
Spidey?
all in one long take, carrying the battle from one to the next, calling back to the first Avengers fight in Avengers. Cause now, they're all Avengers. Spider-Man and Giant Man saving Iron Man.
Yay!
A Korg uppercut.
No, give me that. You have the little one.
It doesn't matter the stakes, they're still gonna have fun.
Of course. Yay, hug.
Oh, this is nice.
Agreed. Hugging. They're there now. And this look on Tony's face of pure elation, like he's almost holding back tears. I honestly don't
And he
know
just
who
don't-
this movie
Peter
thinks
just
it
don't
is.
shut the fuck up.
Not cinema. Not cinema. What the first thing he mentioned when he got off the ship? The thing he was most terrified of happening, and then being powerless to stop it? Giving him and us this moment before the end? Hey, some attention to
Heartbreaking.
detail. The map of the battle on Tony's HUD gets a red marker when Scott sets off the van alarm.
Get it started. We'll get the stones to you.
We're on it, Cap.
He did say he calls him Cap, so she was listening, even though he was totally lying.
Captain Steve. Sorry. America. Rogers.
Which makes this another example of the difference between the real hero, Hope, and Scott, the hero trainee. Also, if you thought it was weird these two didn't get a reunion, as far as they're concerned, they just saw each other a few days ago and
Yeah,
Hope put
pretty
Scott
much.
into the quantum tunnel. Sorcerer Supreme, Sorcerin.
I have to
Yep.
hotwire it.
Just
Thank
like
God,
Avengers,
Doctor
everybody
Strange.
gets to use their unique skills.
Activate instant kill.
Another payoff from a different movie. We always wanted to know how it worked.
And it works perfectly fine.
It's stabbing.
Hey,
Might be
Wanda.
stronger than vibranium, but it's nothing compared to witch power?
Witch power, yeah.
Stone power, I guess. Super love that Wanda gets this moment where she had him beat, proving that she was right.
I don't even know who you are.
You will.
Also, this reminds me of something fun. Infinity War opens with Thanos in this armor and helmet, and he presumably traded the sword for the glove and power stone. But once he gets the space stone, he takes his helmet and armor off and is in just, like, this
Normal
outfit the
clothes.
entire war. Because with 2 or more stones, what did he have to fear? Not much.
Nothing really.
Damn, Strange.
Hey, Queens. Heads up.
Headline reads, Brooklyn native throws hammer at teen from Queens.
I got you, kid.
Thanks.
Hot potato teamwork involving a Pegasus.
Hey, Captain Marvel.
Bye-bye, ship. Wow, it's not often you see genuine distress on Grimace's face. Well played, Danvers.
I don't know how you're gonna get it through all of that.
Don't worry. She's got help.
I mean, I don't know what the odds are that all the lady heroes would be in one area, but I also really don't care because it's a phenomenal form-up moment that gives you a big dumb grin. And it's pure fan service, which you'll never hear me complain about. And even though it's not explicitly stated, I'm reminded of something a very smart woman once said.
You know, we usually work as a team here.
And she gave Wanda a full dose of that in Infinity War from her and Okoye.
She's not alone.
Nat's MCU arc has been going from lone wolf bad guy to moral gray area spy trying to atone to team member to team leader to team savior. To me, this is
great
Black Widow.
character.
This is her family. This is what she died for. These are the people she died for coming together to protect each other. That means something. Also, the obvious complaint is that Captain Marvel shouldn't need any help, but like, she did? They held Thanos at bay as long as they could to get her to the portal. There's always so much going on, these dark whatevers barely get on-screen deaths now.
Hopefully there won't be a death count.
Queen Valkyrie! Thor learned his lesson, going for the head. Together! Yes. They managed to give her an actual, yes, she deserves to play on this playground moment. She's hugely powerful, but it's not going to matter against the Power Stone. His cunning and will to hold the Power Stone in his hand is still superior to Captain Marvel. A gesture we all instantly understand, and the detail of Strange's hand shaking because he's focused on other magic.
I am inevitable.
No, you're not. Better get 100 wins, please.
What can you even say?
Thank you.
Iron Man was the one to cut the wire and jump on the grenade. You can actually see the power of the stones eating through his nanosuit as he tries to hold the energy back. True self-sacrifice where Tony puts his own self-interests aside for the greater good. Bravo to this woman, this performance, this closure.
Don't be over. Okay, still going.
All the way back to the first time that he said that at the end of the movie that kicked this all off. Dude.
I am Iron Man.
Dude. Thanos believed himself inevitable, unbeatable, fated to win because he got to see his destiny play out. He knew he'd win.
One of him won,
he believed his cause
but
to
this
be
one
righteous
will never
and
win.
The universe had agreed.
Well,
the failing of his snap,
whatever.
making the inevitability uncertain, is such a human flaw.
Well, looks like we're improvising.
Thanos' hubris in this moment, literally quoting some of his last words from his future self after learning the universe didn't like what he did, deciding to go further.
Dread it, run from it, destiny arrives all the same.
Well, Thanos, buddy, we'll just have to change destiny then. Thanos never would have predicted this. While Tony's technology and genius allowed him to steal and then harness the stones, it was his humanity that snapped. In the end, his greatest superpower was his heart. Side note of a less emotional variety, Strange half predicted this.
This is your future.
It's my destiny.
If I tell you what happens, it won't happen.
You almost feel bad for the guy. I mean, he just wanted to make everybody happy.
I don't feel bad for him.
You bad. Enjoy your comeuppance.
Yay.
Just like Infinity War, nothing more he can do but sit down. Slightly less jovial expression this time. And even if he's a garbage fire, stubborn narcissist, he was right about one thing.
Feel so desperately that you're right. It's frightening. Turns the legs to jelly.
And then even more personal sacrifice, this time from Pepper to give Tony's last moment not sorrow, but relief.
You can rest now.
The one thing she said he could never do, she now lets him do. And they
Does
did
this have
not
scene?
pull any punches. No quips, no one-liners. He just needs to let go.
I'm glad they included this scene.
I think it's fine that this was cut, but I also love that it exists, because to me it still happened. But maybe it wasn't something we needed to know the first time around.
If you told me 10 years ago that we weren't alone, let alone, to this extent...
To be fair, 10 years ago was 2013, 1 year after you defeated aliens, but Endgame proper starts on a Tony Hud message and ends on a Tony Hud message.
Am I even true? Everything's gonna work out exactly the way it's supposed to.
He's not wrong. It was 1 in 14,605,000, but it was the way it was supposed to work out.
I love you 3,000.
On a slightly more serious note, Julia and I were just talking about this scene the other day, and she started tearing up. This is the impact of these movies. This is the impact of These words that came from Robert Downey Jr.'s children. This is the cinema of human beings trying to convey emotional, psychological experiences to other human beings. And this sweep around the funeral is a great way to visually acknowledge all the Avengers and extended Avengers who've made this movie possible with their
and Harley in the background.
Even the kid that Tony was connected to.
Now I wish there was a way that I could let her know. We did it.
She knows. We both do.
Bring Vision back.
You know, your dad likes
Please.
cheeseburgers.
To be fair, he hated them so much that he quit drugs. So, yeah, you're right.
It's time for me to be who I am rather than who I'm supposed to be. But you're a leader.
Sometimes it takes a chat with your dead mom to achieve self-realization and start the healing process.
Everyone fails at who they're supposed to be, Thor. That's how well they succeed at being who they are.
And goodness, I love that this is where we leave Thor. It's not just another, we're done with this character,
Guardians of the
so let's come up
Galaxy.
with a contrived reason to remove him from the field. No, it's a decade of character growth where he learned a little bit each time, starting as this guy, ending as this guy.
As Guardians of the Galaxy back to
Yay!
again.
Yep.
Everybody
Yep.
knows who's in charge. Me. Yes, you.
I can't wait to see this part. I need this movie so bad.
Make this happen.
Please make it happen.
Say hi to Red Skull for me. All that to say, Bucky knows. Nope.
Hold on. Camera went dead again. Really gotta learn to start charging. Where'd I put the battery? That was over here. Give me a moment. Or an hour. Or 12 hours. Probably should charge the entire battery's camera. Don't worry. I got this. I got this. Just pay no attention to the person doing whatever he's doing, okay? Got it. I switched battery. Thank God I have 3 batteries. Alright, continue before this one runs out, because I don't know how full it is.
The emotions aren't over. It's honestly the one back of my mind wish for Steve that I really never thought they'd deliver. I'm a softie for love, what can I say?
I agree.
And I realize that he's a different person now. No one said it had to be perfect, but goodness, he and Peggy both deserve a chance.
Yeah, he really deserved that after so long.
Love, how about these lyrics? It's gonna get zappy. Never thought that you would be standing here so close to me. There's so much I feel that I should say, but words can wait until some other day. Some special scene credits getting increasingly more involved as we move to our core Avengers. Good stuff.
And ended on him.
One last audible tribute to the man that started it all.
Okay, he's gonna have a conclusion next time. Possibly.
I know what you're thinking. No conclusion? Nope. My first 3-part video. And clearly I was way off about where the middle was. So part 3 is going to be somewhere between the length of the first and the second part. I don't know.
Okay.
But believe it or not, I still have a lot of things I want to talk about. Somehow I still have more to say about Tony and Thor's PTSD, and I just want to keep talking about this movie. So just
Please
one more
do,
week,
whenever you can.
and then you guys never have to think about this movie ever again.
I'm always gonna think about the movie.
Thanks, friends.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it there. I'm still concerned about the bat. Maybe put the battery on charge real fast, so just in case. It's charging good. I forgot how good the movie actually was. Now that I've seen bits and pieces of it again. And funny part is I'm gonna go watch these videos again after I finish this video. Why am I yelling? Is this yelling? I don't know. Kind of yelling. Possibly yelling. Maybe. Could be. Who knows? I was going to say something else, but I completely forgot. I'm so glad he added the 100 sins where went on the places he did. AKA Thor, Cap, and Tony, and other places that I might have forgotten. I was so happy we got to 1,000-ish. We'll probably get more during the conclusion, so I hope we do. There's like so many things that I just love about this movie. And because it made me feel emotions that I didn't want to feel. Emotions I didn't want to feel. Emotions I didn't know I needed to feel, apparently. I just don't know what to say right now. I really gotta go get this movie so I can watch it again. Eventually. Possibly. Maybe. Who knows? I'm really just clicking back and forth between the video because I really want to go watch it again. I need to go watch it again after this video. But there's just so many things I'll just... I'm gonna miss Black Widow and Tony so much. My only headcanon is that the timeline Loki went to, everybody still might be alive. A version of them might still possibly still be alive if Thanos didn't do whatever in that timeline. I don't know. Timeline stuff's confusing. There's some. It's I hope we get. I want to see Asgard. What's the name of the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie? It better be Asgardians of the Galaxy. That'd be the greatest name ever for it. Possibly. I just need Chris Pratt and Chris Hemsworth playing off each other. And Drax there. And we need to find Gamora too, I guess. Nebula's there, thankfully. I don't know where Gamora is somewhere. Everybody's off doing their own thing now. And Nick Fury's back as well. Peter's back. There's so many people back and so many people gone. And I don't even know what to say anymore, okay? I'm just out of things I could say. And I can't think of anything I want to say. That's my biggest problem with these videos. I don't know how to end or start these videos. Oh, people don't really come here for this part. They come for video, which I understand. I do that a lot of react other videos that I watch. So yeah, I kind of get that from their perspective, I guess. Okay, here's a question. What, if anybody watching, which of the Infinity Stones would you love to have if you could actually hold one or use one? I'd probably go for either the Time Stone or the Reality Stone. Possibly. I don't really understand the full power of the Reality Stone. I mean, I get you can change reality and all that, but from the way it looked for the times that Thanos used it, is that reality changed back when he left the area and stopped focusing on it, or he changed it back on purpose. It's where he changed back on purpose. It means reality would stay that way no matter what. But if it just changes back when he leaves the area, stop focusing on it, that'd be annoying. Just try to change reality to something that's going on. You have to keep focusing on it forever to stay that way, or keep changing. And that'd be kind of annoying, but time still be pretty useful. Yeah, I could see myself using that for figuring out lottery, probably, something like that. I don't know. What would you use time stone for? I'd probably go bargain with somebody. Just annoy the hell out of them. Bargain with them, kill myself, start it all up again. That'd be weird. Be hilarious, but weird. And hell, that'd be painful. But one thing I did always love back when you're talking about the Doctor Strange thing, when he was talking about how his hand was still shaking because he was focused on the magic. I also noticed that, I could be wrong, but I think it's also because his hands are still like super messed up and all that. So like in other scenes I've seen him at, his hands still shake quite a lot, even when he's should be perfectly still, probably not perfectly still, they're still moving, but you can notice they're shaking and all that. Maybe I could be wrong. I don't know. Someone tell me if I'm right or wrong, okay? Because yeah, I feel like that'd be annoying to be able to. I already know I can't be a doctor. My hands I can't hold my hands still anyway. My hands aren't as bad as Doctor Strange, but they're pretty shaky sometimes. I don't know. But whatever. I'm gonna go because I want to watch this video again. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe if you liked it, the like button. If not, the dislike button. Why did I point down there? I don't know. But do whatever you want to do. And I hope you guys have a good day. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.